get the brand new limited edition Pals holiday package available at thepalsmerch.com. Hey everyone, welcome back to PalsCraft, where all the other pals and I have a go at Minecraft SMP. Today we are going to do a lot of things, and with a lot I am serious, it is going to be a lot, so let's get right into it. Down in the base there is a mob that I can't manage to kill, so I am going to try that again, I hope with more success. After that we are going to go down and guess where? Well, you remember the mining machine we made? Yes, the big one. We going to go down and look for diamonds. Not just normal diamonds, no, special diamonds, to make a special diamond chest so that the other pals won't be able to destroy my chests. But to get to that point we will first need to make an iron and gold chest. With those two chests we can make a diamond one, so let's do this, shall we? Let's throw that onto land though, because I think that this is a land animal. Just because of the color of the egg you can tell if it is a water animal or a land, or it might even be an air animal. But oh my! This is already better than that little puny corp. It does way too much damage to fight this with our bare hands. Look at the size of this thing, man. This is just not normal. And all of this for some fame. Man, I don't know anymore. But maybe these animals are just more scared of us than we are scared of them, because we are the mighty human that can talk and that can build very well, and these animals aren't able to do all of those things, and they are basically just dumb things that roam around. And we have control over our minds. And wait, what did we just spawn? Is this a fudging robot or what? Well, it seems like this was a mistake to spawn this thing, because this thing is going to destroy the entirety of mankind and we are not safe anymore, guys. So let's immediately evict the situation. Don't go home, guys. Let's go to Australia, where it is safe, and that is the land of Steve Irwin, so we are safe there with the spirit of the great Steve Irwin. He will keep us safe from all these creatures, because I don't think it is very normal that a robot just appears here. And I don't really feel safe anymore. But the robot came over to us and we have direct access to his knees, so let's pretend that we are Bruce Lee and we can punch really fast. And the robot is dead, or is it still alive? I don't know anymore, guys. No, it is definitely alive. Run, we need to evacuate to Australia. Steve Irwin, if you hear this, keep us safe, man. Guys, there is still time. Go to the nearest airport that has a direct flight to Australia. Go there and be safe, my friends. I shall sacrifice myself for the greater good. It has been fun, guys, but now the time has finally come. I think this was a message from God that all the machines in the world are going to take over. Keep eyes on your toaster, because next time that you are going to want to throw some bread in there, who knows what your toaster is going to do. I don't feel safe anymore. There are so many robots all over the world, and now my coffee machine is going to be evil towards me. While it normally should help me get up in the morning, but now it gets me up in the morning just to run away from it, because it might just want to kill me. But this might be a good moment to start about the story that all is going to start in the year 2020. And that is basically code name for the year 2020. And there is going to be a robot revolution, and everyone will have to gang up to defeat their former house. Because just like my toaster and my coffee machine, my washing machine is going to be a great enemy to me, and it will try to wash my face clean off. And like that we cannot do a face reveal, man. But anyways, in that year there was one robot that started this revolution, and that robot, his name was also Steve, just like Steve Irwin, and his maker gave him that name because he originally was made to defeat some crikey mighty Croc's mate. But that did not happen because he was too mighty for his maker. He was a great robot, not a small one, and the professor had installed a small piece of technology in the robot's arm, and when the robot that is named Steve would walk next to, let's say, a television, the television would get up and suddenly be a walking robot, and it would not service your needs to watch television anymore, but now it would just attack you out of pure anger. And that robot that is named Steve was built in Melbourne, which is a pretty large city in Australia, and that robot was walking through the city, and to compare the robot to something that was on the street, well, it was almost 2 times a city light that stands on the side of the road in Melbourne, and those lights were pretty darn big. And now there was a robot that wanted to destroy humanity that was walking through the streets summoning all the electronics in the area, and it was going to walk through the entirety of Australia. But of course, the Australian army would need to stop that, and they needed to come up with a plan that was going to destroy the robot. But like that robot that we previously fought, this robot did not have any weak spots, well, not that we know of yet. So, we went to the professor, and the professor told us that there was an off button on his back between his buttocks and his spine, and we needed to lift something there, and the button would be exposed and it could be pressed by throwing something at it. or just by pushing it. But all of the lights were off in the city and we could not even see the robot his back. And because of the technology that was used in light bulbs, when the robot named Steve would walk near the light bulbs that were installed in the ceiling, they would just get out and those light bulbs would fight something that was a threat to them. And you might say, well sub, they are just light bulbs. But that is the thing, they were out of the ceiling, so they would not suffice us from light, and they would also not shine when they are walking because they did not have a power outlet. But they were driven by the strength of Steve's arm, that small piece of technology that the professor thought was going to change the world. Well, it did, professor, because you are on a path to be the blame of the end of humanity. But it was late and it was almost 10 o'clock, and when it is 10 o'clock the lights go out. But humanity survived that night because they just hid in Amish communities their barns. And those people don't have technology, so it is a shame because they also cannot watch my videos because they do not have computers. But well, they did something for humanity, which is keeping it alive one night at a time. But it was 7 o'clock in the morning and the sun was already shining. It was not warm, but the sun was shining. So, it was day again and the humans could see. Of course, some of the robots were equipped with night vision, because well, it makes the story way cooler than if they did not have night vision, because night vision is freaking amazing, because you can just see at night and everything is green and it is just so cool. But humanity took a break that lasted just like 35 seconds and they could just rest for a bit because it was not easy to be running all the time from the robots. Because I might not have told you, but the evacuation was happening. People in Melbourne already needed to run to the north of Australia, and the cities and villages near Melbourne were threatened to be taken out by technology as well. But those people needed to run, and the people that did have a car or a scooter or any transportation way were lucky. If you had a van, then you could whatever you guys think that is a lot. But we now have a stone, a wooden pickaxe, and even the iron pickaxe, which is pretty nice if I have to be honest. So yeah, we have got that going for us, which is just great. And now we just need to turn that half stack of wood into sticks, which we did, and then we can make 3 iron shovels out of that. And that pickaxe is in my inventory for if we come across stone and stuff. You can't dig that away with a shovel, so something heavier than a shovel will be needed, in that will be that very special pickaxe that we made. But now it is digging time and I am going to dig in a rectangle shape, and let's just hope that this will turn into something that only we could dream of, I guess. But we have a pretty deep hole that we just dug, and we could maybe use this hole that we will turn the dirt of that hole into diamonds as a foundation for our hotel, and then we could like make an entire basement that we needed anyway, and then turn it into an actual basement, and then we would kill 2 birds with 1 stone, which you should actually never do. Not even killing 1 bird with 1 stone or anything like that. That is bad, and bad is not good. Good is only good, and then you have well and better, and yeah, something like that. I don't even know anymore. But we need to make it even bigger. The hole that we are possibly going to eventually turn into a basement of a hotel. Who knows, maybe something like that will happen, maybe it won't, but the dream is all that counts. Well, actually not, don't listen to that advice. That was some bad advice. I don't know what I was trying to say, which I already had a couple of times this video. I don't know what is wrong with me today. But anyways, the hole is getting bigger, which is nice, and I saw some iron on the ground which we could maybe use. Wait, no, we don't really need that, we just need the dirt, and all of this dirt will be turned into diamonds, as you are going to see in a minute, and then we can start with being wealthy and filthy rich. So I recommend to all of you to do the same while you can still do it, and there are no laws against this. And then we will be friends, and rich friends are great. We could then have really cool and big, expensive and stuff parties, and then like everything will be fun. But you probably all heard that money doesn't make you happy, but bills don't make you happy either, so it is pretty darn handy to at least have some money to do stuff. With that money that you are going to have, you can spend that on games and on Disneyland or whatever your heart desires. If you have it and you have enough and you are willing to spend all of that money on something that you really want, then I would say do it, and then you will be happy, and then it is nice, and then you are going to be happy, and maybe the friends or family that is with you, or maybe you are taking those ones with you to Disneyland or wherever or whatever you plan on doing will be happy as well. And you always want to at least have your family happy. That is pretty important, and your family is actually family, and family should matter. And if family matters, then you already have your best friends in the entire world. But it is always nice to have friends of your choosing. You can really choose family, and if you don't like your family, you can't really do anything about it. But if you don't like a friend, then you can always stop hanging out with them or something like that. But we already have a lot of dirt and stuff, and we still want more, but maybe we should consider turning all of this into diamonds. but I still want just a bit more before I do something like that. So just leave me busy with this in the meantime, and the future will bring us the happiness part. And right now I am actually enjoying myself pretty hard with all of this digging. It is pretty fun. Maybe you guys in your childhood things you had those sand digger things in a beach or just on dirt or something, and you could move dirt with that, and like keep it in the thing that it was in. Well, this is a really vague explanation, but I don't really know how to explain it to you guys. But anyways, some of you might know what I am talking about, and to those guys that know what I am actually trying to say, that is what I am feeling right now. I feel like a really little kid again in such a thing, moving dirt, only then now I am moving it in my inventory, and you can't really do that. I am just putting all of this in my pants or something. Have you guys ever wondered where all of the things in your inventory are on your actual body? Well, this is my first time that I'm thinking about that, and it is pretty weird if I have to be honest. Like, where does it actually go? I am not even sure, but I think it goes like in your pockets. And if you have a baby skin or something and you are wearing a diaper, then I guess all of it must go in your diaper pocket. And if you are unfortunate enough to not have a diaper pocket, then well, I guess it goes into your diaper. And if you have a lot of dirt, then it will look like you have pooped yourself and that you have a lot of poo in your diaper, and that is not really nice. I hope to you guys that it, and if nothing really happens, then well, okay. But it seems like stationary water is lava, so I am not really sure what that means, but I guess that we are just not going to touch any stationary water or cyan carpet that is now lava. That seems pretty easy. And if the cyan carpet becomes lava, then it can do that. Oak wood is a bit more challenging, but luckily, we aren't on oak wood. There is a lot of oak wood around us, and I said something before I thought, and now we are back to UAV mode, and we can just spectate a bunch of people, but we can look how these people play this stuff, and then we can just see what they do, and maybe these guys are really good, and then we might learn something from them. So, the ice is still falling from the sky, which is pretty crazy because some things are lava and here the ice just comes out of the sky. That is pretty weird to me. I am not entirely sure why, but it is a bit weird. Maybe just because ice is like really cold, and well, lava is really hot, so that mix is just not really that good. So, let's just enjoy this spectating game mode. There isn't really another option except for leaving, but now we can appreciate the amazingness of this map, and if we leave that takes a lot of time as well, and this is just fun, is it not? Well, I am enjoying myself flying around like this and just looking at stuff that is in this town, and I am enjoying myself just fine. All of this ice, it is more ice than some rapper have around their necks, and you probably have seen such a rapper. That is a lot of ice. Well, if they are talking about ice, it isn't really ice, but it is just a code word for diamonds. So, if you go to your dad and ask for some ice, then he might get back with a really amazing chain with diamonds and stuff, with whatever you like on it. Or he goes to the freezer, takes a nice ice cream and then hands it over to you. Or you just get ice that goes in drinks, which would be pretty sad. But you need to do something to eat, so you might as well eat that ice, and then you could have a nice cold drink with that ice, and then you would have a good dinner. No, just kidding, don't eat ice for dinner, not even for breakfast or lunch or something else. That is not really great for your body, I would imagine. So, let's just enjoy these last 20-something seconds, and then this all will be over and we will get a new map and a new disaster, I would imagine, and then we would have a great time, and then we are going to win. 10 guys have survived this one, and we just died because we were just not smart. But I mean, mistakes happen, so I am not really that bummed out about that. But I mean, it could be a lot better if we just had this win. One guy died as well. He probably tried to swim in lava, and if you do not pay attention to the players, then it goes fast. Another one has died and there are just 8 left. And as we could see, another great warrior died in the final 20 seconds, which is really sad, but things happen and you can't do anything about it sometimes. But I think that this other guy died as well in the lava. Only 6 managed to survive. I am not really sure with how many we started, but I could imagine that it was at least 30 or something. But I didn't really pay attention to how many players were left until I was really dead. But I mean, it was an amazing map with a cool disaster, and we need to choose a new one anyway, so we basically waited for nothing. But we did see a whole lot of that map, which was pretty great though. And I don't think this is the same one, but I think that we played this one at the beginning of the video, so I might know just the minimum about this map, which is a start. So we are going to stay optimistic and we are just going to enjoy our day, and we are just going to find a nice spot and hopefully we don't die by the disasters, which would not really be that great. It was a really nice building, and it even has this amazing floating garden thing, which is really cool, and I would like to have this in my house if I would have the chance. But yeah, that was a really cool made house, and we are just going to explore a bit more and then we can stop being. But that's it for this episode.